And right now, I'd like to take a few minutes. I did this last year to sort of share a sort of MOU year in review, and I'd like to do that again. And I've already kind of put Justin on the spot to hopefully continue this in the future. As pandemic restrictions lifted, we began to see our calendar of activities return to their semblance of its normal cycle, and as a result, the MOU and its committees have had an active year. The MOU has 14 standing committees, the chairs of which, together with the 5 elected officers, the journal and newsletter editors, and the past president, make up the board. This year, we also had 1 ad hoc committee devoted to revitalizing our affiliate bird club membership program. As many of you are probably aware, the MOU is founded on the idea of collaboration between member organizations for shared benefit. In April of 1938, 3 of the state's bird clubs joined together to form the Minnesota Ornithologists Union. And in time, other bird clubs and similar organizations from across the state became affiliated with the MOU. The number of associated organizations peaked at just over 20 in the late 1990s, but over the past 2 decades, the number of affiliated clubs has dwindled. This year, the board chose to reinvigorate the program by creating an affiliated club membership level and defining the benefits of affiliated membership, which were just approved by the board. If you are a member of a local birding organization or an Audubon chapter that may be interested in becoming an affiliate member of the MOU, we would love to hear from you. As our state's birds and their environment face increasing challenges, more than ever we need to be a statewide union, not only of individuals, but of organizations working in partnership. In fact, reflecting on this year, partnership has been a major theme for the MOU. And partnering with other nonprofits allows us to share information and expertise, assist one another with programming, and to advocate together for our commonly held missions and goals. And I would like to take some time right now to highlight some of those partnerships. One of our organizational longstanding partners is, of course, the University of Minnesota's Bell Museum, which this year celebrated its 150th anniversary. The MOU is pleased to have been a supporting sponsor of the exhibit Seeing Birds, which was created by the Bell to be the centerpiece of the museum's year-long celebration. The exhibit, which focused on the exploration of birds, their environment, and their evolution, ran from January through October and had over 60,000 visitors. We also partnered with the Bell Museum to hold monthly bird walks led by MOU volunteers. After a COVID hiatus, walks returned this year and were held from May through November. These walks, which take place on the Bell's campus, are free and open to the public. On May 21st, the MOU also participated in the museum Spotlight on Science event that had more than 325 visitors. We also joined another long-term partner this year that was celebrating a milestone. Hawk Ridge Observatory celebrated the 50th anniversary of the creation of the Hawk Ridge Nature Reserve, to which the MOU and its members contributed in 1972. The MOU was a sponsor of the anniversary event, which was held the weekend of September 22nd through 25th, and was represented throughout the weekend's events. It was a great opportunity to meet Hawk Ridge staff, to visit with student researchers who have received past Savaloya grants, and to introduce visitors to the MOU. That same September weekend, the MOU also joined with Carpenter Nature Center to co-host the annual Fall Hawk Count that documents the migration through the St. Croix Mississippi River's confluence area. This year, 53 species were observed and more than 65 visitors attended the gathering. Earlier in the year, the MOU had also partnered with Carpenter Nature Center in the Hastings Area Earth Day Birding Celebration held on April 23rd, which includes an annual youth birding competition. This year, teams had the option of being backyard birders within sight of their homes or in-person birding within a count circle. A total of 25 teams registered for the event, and I had the pleasure of being the volunteer judge for this year's competition. And it was a joy to witness the enthusiasm of young birders like Team Super Sandpipers, who recorded 67 species on the day, on April 23rd. That was really impressive. The MOU recognized the achievement of these young birders and others by providing free memberships to teams in each category. While working with partners ties in with our mission of reaching a wider audience of birders so that we can share the science, conservation, and enjoyment of Minnesota's birds with a broader cross-section of Minnesotans, so too does the work of several of our committees. In late March, the Education Committee organizes the Spring Primer, co-sponsored by Carpenter Nature Center. Once again, in 2022, this was held as an online event, which allowed over 150 birders to listen to an excellent lineup of speakers from the comfort of home. If you missed the primer or want to rewatch any of the presentations, The entire program of the 2022 Spring Primer, as well as the paper session speakers from the past 2 years, are available on the MOU's YouTube channel. We have heard from outstate members and those for whom in-person attendance is difficult, how welcome this increased accessibility of remote viewing opportunities is. We are again recording today's presentations, and we will continue to look for ways to make our events accessible to a wider audience. The Social Media Committee also shares reports. I'm sorry, I skipped something. No, I did not. I'm good. The Social Media Committee also advances the mission through the MOU's Facebook and Instagram accounts. Besides sharing updates on MOU activities, many posts are developed by the team with new birders in mind, including the Bird Word series and posts that provide tips for identification. Over the past year, the MOU continued to broaden its social media audience, averaging a 25% increase across both platforms. The Social Media Committee also shares reports from our Savaloya grant awardees. Each year, the MOU seeks grant applications from individuals or organizations undertaking projects in Minnesota that increase our understanding of birds, promote preservation of birds and their natural habitats, or increase public interest in birds, including among groups currently underrepresented in Minnesota's birding community. As Ann mentioned, in 2022, only 3 proposals were received, doubtlessly due to pandemic-related disruptions and the challenges of planning projects. All 3 projects were funded in full, including one supported in part by an anonymous contribution in memory of Bob Russell. Just under $8,000 in grants was awarded, and please note, if you've got projects in mind for next year, that applications for the next round of grants are due on January 20th of 2023. There's perhaps no place, though, that the MOU interacts with a wider cross-section of Minnesotans and non-birders than at the Minnesota State Fair. And with attendant numbers back up, our cadre of 84 volunteers were kept busy handing out a record number of MOU bookmarks, checklists, brochures, and fielding a wide variety of bird-related questions under our Ask Us About Birds banner. I would be remiss if I also did not mention another popular MOU publication, the Daily Birding Planner, which includes a wealth of birding information, including migration dates, checklists, and maps, among other useful information on Minnesota's birds. The 2023 planner is available on lulu.com, and you will find a flyer about it on the registration table. The planner and all of the work of the MOU would not be possible without the contributions of volunteers. I would like to thank everyone who volunteered their time to the MOU during 2022. Each year, more than 100 people give their time and resources to the organization, whether as committee members, birdwalk leaders, speakers, state fair booth staffers, writers of articles, donors, and in a multitude of other capacities, big and small. We have been incredibly fortunate to have many devoted volunteers, and among them David Collender, who has largely created and maintained the MOU website single-handedly for decades. But David would now like to transition the site to someone, or probably a team of someones, to replace him. And if you are a website developer or programmer or know someone who may be interested, please reach out to me or David. Or if you are interested in learning more about volunteering for the MRU, you can find the contact information for committee chairs on the website, or feel free to email me and I can put you in contact with them. And I'd like to try a little experiment. If you volunteered for the MOU this year, if you staffed the state fair booth, if you wrote an article, if you sat at any of our projects, if you sit on the board, could you stand? Thank you, everyone. The MOU truly runs on the commitment of volunteers to Minnesota birds, and I and the board thank you.